Should you buy the Sony A6400 in 2023 or not? Let's find out. Just like the title of the video, today I'm gonna be talking about the Sony A6400. Is it worth buying this camera in 2023? So I have been using this camera for almost about a year, probably more than a year. This camera actually launched back in 2019, Jan 2019, but I bought this camera in 2020. I'm definitely happy with the camera because this creates amazing quality of photos as well as videos. I do a lot of shoots from this camera itself. It's just that I have invested in different lenses. But today we're not going to talk about the lenses. Today we're talking about this camera itself. I know if you guys are looking for something in the cinematic range, so definitely this video is not for you, because this camera is not of the cinema line or produces such high quality level, probably the 8Ks and the 4Ks, 120s or something like this. But it does a pretty good job even at 4K. So you can record a 4K 30 fps video from this, but if you have to record 120 fps, you have to drop down to a full HD, which is 1080p. The Sony A6400 has a 24 megapixel sensor, which is pretty decent enough and performs very well in the night time as well. If anyone is looking to buy a new camera as a beginner, I think this should be your, you should be focusing on the process of learning and creating what you desire to create and putting in your thought process into it. But rather than just going on to any expensive cameras or expensive gears, since you're starting out, you need to be used to the ecosystem of this photography industry. But this one is a pretty handy camera. It's a very lightweight and a small camera, very compact camera. There are many other competitors of this, like the Canon M50 or the Sony ZV-E10, but this one has certain features that are not there, in those cameras, and vice versa. But this one, actually, the only thing that should be there in this camera was the image stabilization, because the camera does not have an IBIS or the image stabilization inbuilt. It's only if you have a lens which is, you can use it. But it's fine. Even if you're creating any videos, you can definitely put the stabilization in post-production. So there is just one thing that I really thought that this camera would have. And also, like nowadays, the flip screen, like talking about the flip screen, like a lot of people are fascinated by the screens flipping on the side, if you have seen in the newer versions of the camera. But this one does have a flip screen, but it is onto the top. And there is a little drawback while you attach any of the mounts, like a flash or a mic onto it. The screen gets hidden, it gets interrupted. Your view is interrupted by those accessories. But definitely this can be sorted out with extra accessories that you can eventually buy later on. But I think for now this camera is kind of a very good investment for me. I do a lot of shoots. I do product photography from this, I do food photography from this, I do even portraiture as well. Recently, I don't know if you guys have seen my other video, the new lens that I've got. So check this out, and I'm using that lens. It's a Sigma 85 f1.4 that I'm using it on the APS-C sensor, which is the A6400. And that gives me a different opinion about using the lenses onto an APS-C lineup, and I'm getting pretty amazing results out of it. And you can see the images right now. You can check out my Instagram for more images through this camera and every other video that I've shot from this camera. It's onto my Instagram. You can check it out over here, or the link in the description will be helpful for you. I have used it for more than a year, as I said. If you guys are looking just to start off with your photography career or video career, you can definitely produce a high quality content from this camera for your clients, for yourself. If you are an amateur photographer, like who do photography and videography for as a hobby basis, you can definitely take this camera and use the kit lens with it. It's a very, the kit lens, I do not use the kit lens because I like to produce much higher content, so I use the Sigma 1850. Again, for the review I have it on my channel, so I recommend you to check it out. So whenever you guys are going to buy this camera, or you decide to buy this camera, you can definitely look out what kind of setup do you want to go for this one, for this particular camera. And even the only thing is, right now I am, it's all zoomed in, so this one, this camera is amazing. This right now you can see the shakes and jitters that you can see in the video, but if you guys can see, it's like this. So that's the setup I generally use, and I think this one does a pretty good job in focusing onto your face. It has good autofocus capabilities, I no doubt about this. The autofocus is amazing, guys. It just whichever lens you use, it is definitely gonna go on to the point wherever you want to do. The camera also has touch capabilities onto the screen, but the only thing is it's only applicable, or it's only usable while you're using the touch focus. It is not, you cannot use it on the menu. For that you'll have to use the dial. So I also use this camera for all my YouTube videos as well. As you guys can see, there is a little difference because currently I do not have a secondary camera, so I use my phone to create that, and also the Insta360 X3 sometimes. And you know what the best thing about these Sony cameras are? This camera shoots in 6K even when you're shooting it in 4K, and it just not downgrades, but it compresses that into a 4K video, so it gives you a higher quality as compared to any other camera in the market. So that is one feature that you might want to look into it. At the end, I would just say, guys, do not stop thinking, just go for what your heart feels like. If you are under budget, you can definitely go for this camera, and if you have if you have good budget line, you can definitely go for the higher version, the full frame ones. So for now, I think I do recommend going for this camera, because right now you're learning. So I think all you need to do is just go out and create, guys. That's all you gotta do. Whatever camera you have, you can do it with your phone as well. But if you guys want to invest in a professional camera, this one does the job for you. I hope you guys like the review a little bit. It's not a technical review, but definitely my thoughts onto this A6400. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.